There is that thing you call you, that you think is hearing me say these words right now, and you are intimately familiar with it. I'm offering you a chance to see the world, free of its pain, its fears, and its regrets. In a hyper-real world of overstimulation, it's easy to feel burnt out, like nothing would be better than a reset button. Just a chance to be able to take a breath and pause for a second without worrying about being passed up or left behind by the relentless momentum of society that surrounds you. I have that reset button. I have a way for you to take a break from the frenetic chaos without fear of missing anything. The name Sober October might turn some of you off. That word sobriety has connotations to all sorts of nasty things, like Puritanism, addiction, abstinence, and teetotalers. And of course, a key part, a linchpin of Empiritics is rigor with language. And sobriety means none of those things. All it means is the natural state of mind, unaltered by outside substances. By being the default perspective, it's resultingly taken for granted, despite being the most popular mind state of all. There are more man-hours spent in the aggregate of humanity in sobriety than in any other state of consciousness. But like in other aspects of life, we fail to appreciate the commonplace, even when there is much beauty to be found in it. Let me ask, what is more interesting to you? Being able to turbocharge an engine, or the fact that an engine can even exist in the first place? Radical change can be achieved by an extraordinarily small application of force, only if you know where to push. That is what I will show you. Now, it may seem odd that an advocate of numerous ethnogens and a champion of indulgence would be hosting something like this, but it's not about sobriety. It's about betterment. And it's about whatever you are about. There's an old saying, do what you've always done, and you'll continue to get the results that you've always gotten. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's the amount of money you make, or the relationships you're in or not, or your fitness, your health, or even what kind of shoes that you wear. If there's any part of your life with which you're dissatisfied, you're not going to achieve satisfaction if you keep doing what you're doing now. More fundamentally, you're not going to achieve satisfaction if you keep being who you are now. There is someone who has millions of dollars and who is with the guy or the girl or both or several that you dream about, who dresses the way you want to dress, who walks the way you want to walk, talks the way you want to talk, and dances how you'd like to dance. And they have your name. And they have your genes. And you are not them. There is a version of you that has all the things that you want. And you are not them. And you will never have those things unless you become them. Now, everyone wants things. And everyone, I do mean literally everyone, is powerful at getting them. But most are just cruising casually, waiting for some reason to take action. And you can wait all you want. Reason is never going to come. Because there are no signs from God. There is no perfect timing. If we want things in our lives, we have to make the time. And it's only through our choice that we manifest our intent. Which is why I'm doing what I'm doing here. I'm giving you a reason, an excuse, to become the person who achieves in life the things you desire to achieve. I'm gifting you the month of October, 31 days, to do something different, to become someone different, so that you'll get something different than what you already have. Virtually all of us have some go-to stimulant, an indulgence that's more habit than conscious choice. And while drugs like alcohol or cannabis are certainly popular ones, they're far from the only options. Such fulfillment can come from sources like tobacco, pornography, news, working on projects around the house, sugar, coffee, soda pop, streaming television and films, reading meaningless articles, chasing dragons and plumbing the depths of rabbit holes. Any form of consumption, even productive consumption. Over 300 years ago, the brilliant mathematician Pascal observed, all man's problems stem from his inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Allaying that exact discomfort is often the motivation that drives your behavior. Everything on that list gives us something, at the expense of something else. Just like choosing chocolate over strawberry, or getting the experience of eating chocolate, at the expense of the experience of eating strawberry. I do not know what you'll find throughout the month of October, but I know that it will be different, and therefore worth trying. Because maybe you find out that you like strawberry more than chocolate, even if you really like chocolate. But you already know that. And our purpose here is to foray into the frontier, to find out the things you don't know about yourself, so that you can assemble a version of yourself worthy of having the life you want. I did not invent Sober October, but I am bringing a unique challenge to it, and it relates to this. I'm sure some of you just gasped, and no, I'm not instructing you to abstain from using your cell phone all month. What you are going to do is bring intent, rigorous intent, to your mobile usage. The paradigm through which most cell phone usage happens is that of the pacifier for adults, which is socially acceptable to use in public. It is beyond interesting that one of the most incredible technologies ever developed in history is strongly connotated with the degradation of society. How can that be? Broadly, it's because of the two reasons for consuming any kind of stimulation, we use it for the bad one. That is to say, for escapism, rather than deeper engagement. Many people reflexively whip out their phones for any number of reasons that are all variants of dealing with boredom, dealing with the inability to sit quietly in a room alone. It's a big time sink, and it generally provides an instant hit, but no lasting reward. So for the month of October, don't use your phone casually, or out of boredom, or off the cuff. Now, if there are things that you like doing that you find beneficial to you on the phone, like browsing dating apps, or looking at art, communicating with others through social media, reading, or even playing games, schedule some time for that in the exact same manner as you would going to the gym, or taking care of business, or meeting a friend. Think of all the things you do that require your presence at a physical place. Of course, you plot your time out so that you have enough time to get there and to get back, and that none of them are going to overlap, so you know you'll accomplish everything. Treat the time spent using your phone in exactly the same way. And outside those hours, don't use it. If you need to, change your home screen to Y, so that every time you pull it out and look at it, you're reminded to ask yourself, why am I doing this? What is my purpose here? And just to take away every possible excuse, I've had some wallpaper size Y backgrounds made, and they're linked in the description. For some of you, willpower alone will be more than enough. But for others who think this may be a harder challenge, consider using airplane mode as a tool to help you. There's still a little bit of time left before this event. You still have a little time to figure out what exactly you'd like to experiment with this Sober October. There are things you do that you know are holding you back. You know exactly what they are. In fact, before I finished saying that last sentence, there was already a big part of your brain working to defend, like an ace attorney on every technicality, your doing of those things. Now, these are the exact things that you know, if you're going to make any real difference, you're going to give up this sober October. And there's not one of you that needs to do this. It arises only from desire. In fact, I'll bet some of you feel temptation right now. Consider that you feel the temptation to say no. Consider you feel tempted to not indulge. Consider that you feel tempted to dare sobriety for a month, not because there's any qualitative reason, but you just feel a pull to try something different, simply because it's novel. I guarantee that even if you get nothing else out of this, at the end of the month, you will feel the same form of pride that an athlete does when they best their personal record. You will have a newfound sense of self and a confidence derived out of your ability to declare a goal for no reason other than itself, from no source beyond yourself, and achieve it. I'm excited to see what you'll do next. There are links to our Facebook event and Instagram pages, which I encourage you to use as venues to discuss with other participants. And they're also really wonderful tools for accountability. See, sharing, even with complete strangers, your choice and intent strengthens your sense of self and your resolve to actually stick to it the entire month. And these can also be great places to discuss or share ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of. So if this sounds appealing to you, welcome. We're glad to have you. May you have peace. May your today be better than your yesterday, and make your tomorrow better than your today. Come Halloween, we're going to have one hell of a victory party.